Hello, and welcome to the ChewCast. This is our tone. Welcome to our draft analysis for the World Class Battle League. yes, doing. I'm going to be uploading these battles on like the SATN, where I just stopped after the first week. But I'm reviving the channel for this. Maybe even more leagues coming up later in the YouTube stuff. But uh, we started off as the Jacksonville Jolteons. We franchised into the Zelwood Zoroarks. Then we franchised into the Broadneck Bewares. And now we have a new franchise, the Vancouver Victinis. Now I still have all four teams. I use them from time to time. And I'm slightly sick. But going into the draft, I immediately, first pick, I wanted Victini. I was 13th seed. I was doubtful Victini was going to drop to me. My core, I wanted Victini, Mega Altaria, Skarmory. Now, if Victini wasn't taken round 1, I would have gone to all 3. Skarmory went to, like, round 4. So, let's hop into it. 12th pick, I'm 13th. 12th pick, Victini is taken. So I'm like, shit. And I'm doing, it's a slow draft. It started like 4 days ago. And I was doing something at the time. I was DMing with my friends for Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm like, let's just all take a break so I can figure this out. So I look at the stuff, and then Spectrum sends me a message, says, get Jirachi. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So our first pick is Saris or Karis the Jirachi. Jirachi is a Steel Psychic type with base 100 stats around the board. It's a tier 1 pick, and I love Jirachi. This is also our Z captain. The rules on Z moves is we have one mon that can use Z moves, and it's only Z attacking move. So at the end of the draft, I looked at Jirachi. I'm like, yeah, this guy is amazing for Z moves. It gets access to stuff like Iron Head. Let me name off some other things. Iron Head. It can even run special. It gets Draco, Calm Mind, Fire Punch, Energy Ball, Healing Wish. Gets Screens. It gets Play Rough, Moon Blast. It has a very versatile, how do I say it? Move set. Move pool. It can run defensive, offensive, blah blah blah. Run hazards, which that's why I like it so much. It's very versatile, just like Victini was. And really, I'm only losing a fire type. Now, as you can see, or as you'll see later, I get really angry because of things that happened. So, second mod, I'm like, this Mega's still on the board. I wanted it with Victini. I was like, Mega Alt's amazing. It pairs well with Jirachi pretty well. So that's our second pick. Dot picks us the Mega Altaria. Pretty good stats around the board with its lowest stat being HP, which is actually somewhat good with its defenses. Base 80 speed, so my speed is somewhat average. Dragon Fairy type with Pixelate. Its typing is pretty good. It's really only weak to like Steel, Fairy, and Ice. Jirachi all resist those. Jirachi is weak to Dark, Fire, Ground. Mega Altaria resists like 2/3. So I thought it was really good. It's a round 2. It's a Mega Pokemon on here, so that's good. Something that happened in this round. My second fire type was my fire type option for this plan was sniped. Entei. I was planning on getting Entei. That didn't happen. So I was like, shit. Fire type, fire type, fire type. I'm like, fuck going for round 2. I'll go for round 3 for a fire type. And so, that will reflect for later. Round 3 comes. I was planning on getting Crocodile next. Sucks to be me. That was sniped right before my pick. So I'm like, shit. I'll go to the old thing where I'm gonna get Suicune plus Umbreon. And so our third pick is Suicune. We got Borealis the Suicune, water type. Uh, Pairs pretty well with my two aforementioned mons. Or defensive stats really good, offensive stats kind of lacking, and then speeds interesting, pretty nice. It's tier 2 mon, round 3, so it's pretty good. And, being 13th pick, I have like 6 before my 4th pick. And I'm surprised that my 4th pick didn't actually go. I looked at it and I was like, I need this. I don't have any hazard removal yet. So I'm like, I'm gonna get my two hazard removals next. So my next mod is Donphan. Now Donphan, it's overlooked a lot. Base 50 speed, kinda. My speed tiers are starting to dwindle down. Tier 3 mod, we got Pachi, the Donphan ground type, which is pretty nice. Attack is really good, defense is really good. All the other stats, not so much, but it can be a good defensive core with Suicune and Mega Altaria. All of my mods so far can be either offensive or defensive. So, round 5, another snipe happens to me. Galvantula goes. I needed Galvantula for this team. If you look at it, imagine Jirachi, imagine these mods under webs. That would be amazing. I even had some other mods that I wanted to pick up under webs. So I was like, fuck, I don't have Galvantula. I'll fix my speed tiers, so I'll draft Jolteon. Nope. Jolteon's picked close to, I think, it's drafted, I think, in the same round. So I'm like, fuck, I need my fast speed tier. But, I'm like, fast speed tiers. I look at it, this also gets hazard removal. I'm like, I need this mod right now. We're picking up Crobat. Curious the Crobat. Poison Flying type, which is actually pretty good. We got our 2 hazard removals in Donphan and Crobat. It's a round 5 tier 3 mod, which I think it was a pretty good round 5 mod. I didn't know if it was going to go to round 6. Lackluster stats except for speed, really. Its attack and special attack are somewhat usable. Gets Defog, Sludge Bomb, Heat Wave, Nasty Fly, Roost, Brave Bird. Nothing really likes Brave Bird spam. But, looking at my team right now, I'm a bit Edgequake weak. That's the problem. And my next pick doesn't help it. So, I think another fire type I wanted went soon. I don't remember. But I was like, I need my fire type this round, or else I'm not going to get a good fire type. Because Emboar is gone, Entei is gone. I don't want to use a tier or a free pick for fire right now. So I'm like, there's this one mod on the board. I was fueled with anger because of all the snipes that happened. I'm picking up Bloody Sunday the Darmanitan. I literally said, Darmanitan, fuck you. Where are your switches? Tier 3 mod as well. So I have 3 tier 3. Yeah, it's not really helping our Earthquake weakness. We only have 1 immunity. Or 2 before Mega Evolves. Pretty good. HP, attack, speed, pretty good. Defense, special defense, and special attack, not so much. Darmanitan's a really good pure fire type, in my opinion. So, and I can even run the Zen mode, thing. Not saying I will, but it's an option. So, I was looking, I think this was like the 5th time I had to rebuild my plan. And a couple more electric types I wanted went. After my next pick. I really wanted Meteor, because I really wanted this one, Meteor Starburst, rock flying type. Adds another flying type. But I wanted a new mod. And, like, ILB Season 2, I had no new mods. And I was like, Meteor is actually a really cheap mod, if you think about it. 100 points just for this. And it could run, it could be a threat, given the right support. 60 in a HB attack, special attack, and speed. When its shields up, defenses and special defense at 100. But once it gets shields down, that attack and special attack boosts up to 100, defense and special attack go down to 60, and speed goes to 120. So, once this thing gets at 50%, it gives me a good speed tier. My speed tiers are a bit wobbly though. 130, then 120, then 100. So, after this, Heliolisk was sniped. So I'm like, God damn it, I have to rebuild again. And I had nothing. I just sat there for an hour, and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? Also, Umbreon was sniped. I really wanted Umbreon. I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? I knew someone's picks, and I didn't consult them. I'm sorry, Z, I'm sorry that I took this, but I made an agreement to him. I'm not allowed to bring it the week we battle, but I think that's fine, since I needed this mod 100%, since there were no other good dark types in tier 3. There was Guzzlord, I'm like, no. And I didn't want to go down to tier 4 or anything for my dark type. So I'm like, Zoroark. So I love Zoroark. It's my favorite Pokemon ever. Route 8, tier 3. Pure dark type, Delta. It can run both offensive, good speed tier, in my opinion. Its defenses are lacking though, so I'm not going to be able to switch it in on super effective or anything really. Unlike Umbreon, which I really wanted Umbreon to pair well with Suicune and Donphan. So I have to wait 26 for fucking picks. Electros was sniped, which I wanted that for defensive. I'm like, god damn it. So I have to rebuild again. My last 3 picks, I'm like, I had a certain mod on my thing. I'm like, no, I can't use this. I have to switch the tiers I'm using. And I get this one, Miss Magius. I know tier 5 at round 9, not too good, and especially Miss Magius, not great. 60s and 105s, not the best ghost type. There was Golurk still left, but I didn't want another ice weakness, which I impressively have quite a bit. So he doesn't really care. So we have Alexis and Miss Magius Pure Ghost. I have come to love this ghost type. And Golurk. My 2 favorite ghost types. They're such a steal for tier 5, in my opinion. And as you can see, I don't have my electric type, I don't have a grass type, and I don't have a fighting type. So I looked at it and I'm like, shit, what? So before Eel was sniped, I had Electros and Virizion as my last picks. And Electros was sniped, so I'm like, damn it, I have to figure out something. And someone actually sent me a thing and like, you need to pick up this mod, and you can wait till last round to do it because no one else can snipe you, because everyone's already down to their last points. And as you can see, I have 100 points left, so I can afford a tier 3. And I'm like, okay, I'll pick this up last round. And I'm like, I need an electric type. I need a tier 4. And I'm like, I start thinking of a plan. I'm going to switch Suicune for Rotom Wash. I'm going to switch whatever I get for tier 4 for, like, type Null, which I thought was actually pretty nice. And before I got Miss Magius, my friend was messaging me. It's like, you know, Dusclops is there. If you get Dusclops with type Null, that's a great defensive core. And I said, I need Miss Magius, but if it gets sniped, I'll get Dusclops. So my next pick comes around, and I'm like, You know, that this thing's here, may add a psychic type, but it'll be fine for 1 week. So I got a Alolan Raichu, got a Alolan Chewcast. It's around 10 tier 4 mod, which is actually pretty good. Surge Surfer, which it can help versus Tapu Koko if I want. Uh, its defense stuff is kind of lackluster. Offenses are usable. Speed pretty good. Our speed here is starting to improve a bit. And for my last one, grass fighting type, Virizion will snipe. I'm like, okay, there goes my backup to this one. I'm fucked if this gets taken somehow. Because there are like 2 people who had enough points to take it. I'm like, shit, shit, shit. I'm looking sniped. I'm going to have to remake. I'm going to have to do a ton of trades to fix everything. Luckily, it didn't get sniped. And uh, we have the Phoenix to Alexis because, uh, ships, my friends. We have Chestnut, grass fighting type, pairs pretty well defensively with Suicune. Um, Pretty good stats all around, except for like really speed. And as you can notice, I have a pretty bad. I have a somewhat bad ice weakness. I have an electric weakness, and I have a dark weakness. So, I mean, my draft is pretty good for being salvaged like 7 or 8 times. So I think it's not too bad for how I salvaged it. But I am doing trades week 2. I don't know if I'm going to drop a little. And Type Null was sniped round 10. I talked with the guy. He said I could have it, and then he takes it. I'm like, shit. There goes Type Null, which I actually kind of wanted to use. EVA Light 95 defenses would have been pretty good. So I'm like, well, I'm still gonna get rid of Wash, so I can have an extra pick. So I need to figure out what I'm going to drop a little Raichu for, or if I'm going to drop it at all. We'll see after week 1. So this is my draft plan, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you're rooting for the Vancouver Victinis. Let's go 15-0. But hope you're all rooting for the Vancouver Victinis. Hope you all have a wonderful day, wonderful time. Comment, rate, subscribe. Really helps out the channel. If you want to see more, no, right along. Bye-bye.